PF Civil War. Mwila says Lubinda's father isn't Zambian, but he wants to impose himself as president. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. What a week it has been in Zambian politics, folks. Just when you thought the dust had settled, when you thought the opposition Patriotic Front might find a moment of peace to rebuild and reorganize, the earth beneath them splits wide open. Today, we bring you a story of betrayal that cuts so deep, it questions the very identity of a man who would be president. Picture this: a political party, once mighty, once the ruling force of an entire nation, now tearing itself apart from within. Late-night purges, emergency meetings, WhatsApp messages flying through the darkness, each one a grenade lobbed into the heart of what remains of party unity. And at the center of this maelstrom stands one man, Given Lubinda, the acting president of the Patriotic Front, a man who survived when others ran into the shadows, who carried the party on his back through arrests and funerals and court battles. But here's where our story takes a dark, unexpected turn. What happens when your own comrades, the men and women you fought alongside for decades, question not just your leadership, but your very right to exist in the political space? What happens when they don't just challenge your decisions, but challenge your bloodline, your father's origins, your claim to Zambian citizenship itself? Can you imagine the humiliation, the rage, the profound sense of abandonment? This past Saturday, former PF Secretary General Davies Mwila stood before cameras and microphones and uttered words that would send shockwaves through Zambian politics. We don't even know if Lubinda's father is Zambian, but he wants to impose himself as president. Was this a legitimate constitutional question? Or was it the oldest, ugliest weapon in African politics finally deployed: tribalism, xenophobia, and the politics of belonging? And if this is what they're willing to say in public, in broad daylight, on camera, what are they saying behind closed doors? How did we get here? How does a political party that once controlled state power descend into such primal, destructive warfare? And more importantly, can the Patriotic Front survive this? Or are we witnessing, in real time, the final days of what was once Zambia's most dominant political machine? Factual foundation. The revelation came to light this past Saturday, November 23, 2025, just days after one of the most dramatic political maneuvers in recent PF history. The context is crucial to understanding this moment. On Friday night, November 22nd, at exactly 22:37 hours, a time so late it seemed calculated for maximum shock value, Given Lubinda, acting president of the Patriotic Front, issued a video statement that landed like a political grenade inside a party already fractured by suspicion and competing ambitions. In that single address, Lubinda removed several senior members of the Central Committee. Among those purged, Party Chairperson Emmanuel Muzandam Pankanta, Acting Secretary General Brendan Irenda, Davies Mwila, the former Secretary General himself, MP Maleshiana Fairai, and 4 provincial chairpersons including Chamba Chipalai of Northern Province and Christopher Shaka Fuswa of Lusaka. In the same breath, Lubinda announced new appointments: former Lands Minister Jean Kapata as Acting National Chairperson, presidential aspirant Miles Sampa as Deputy Secretary General for Politics, and lawyer Celestine Mukandala as Deputy Secretary General for Administration. Lubinda claimed authority under Article 61(j) of the PF Constitution, the same provision he had previously used to cancel a critical Central Committee meeting that was supposed to finalize logistics for the party's long-awaited General Conference, the first competitive elective Congress in the Patriotic Front's 24-year history. The conference, originally scheduled for late November, had already been plagued by court injunctions, factional mistrust, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Delegates were anxious. Tempers were running high. And now, with this midnight purge, the party structures erupted. By Saturday afternoon, the reaction came swift and brutal. Emmanuel Pankanta held a press briefing in Lusaka. Flanked by Jonas Shakafuswa and Davies Mwila, he declared Lubinda's dismissals illegal, null and void. He argued that no acting president has constitutional power to fire or reshuffle the Central Committee without collective approval. The PF Constitution does not allow an acting president to fire Central Committee members alone, Pankanta stated clearly. Such decisions must be approved by the Central Committee or National Council. But it was Davies Mwila who delivered the most devastating blow. Not with legal arguments, not with constitutional clauses, but with a question about identity itself. Direct evidence, quotes and testimony. In an interview on Saturday, Davies Mwila was asked about Lubinda's unilateral decisions. His response was surgical in its brutality. Did he appoint me, or I was elected by the conference? Let him just follow what people want, that's all. Then came the deeper cut. He's a candidate. Why is he still holding that position as PF acting president? There must be fair play. Those are artificial wrangles. He wants to create those confusions himself. There's no one interested in confusion because our members are anxiously waiting for a leader he doesn't want. If he doesn't want, let him wait for the members. They will tell him what to do. Mwila paused. Then he continued with words that would dominate headlines across the nation. You can't impose yourself on people. And moreover, even if he became president tomorrow, where is he going to get the votes from? We don't know where he comes from. We don't know whether it's Western, whether it's Central provinces. We don't know. We don't know whether the father is Zambian or what. We don't know. Where is he going to get the votes from? He is just wasting our time. Let those words settle for a moment. We don't know whether the father is Zambian or what. This was not a slip of the tongue. This was not an emotional outburst caught on a hot mic. This was a calculated statement, delivered with full awareness of its implications, designed to raise questions about Lubinda's eligibility, his legitimacy, his very right to aspire to leadership. Meanwhile, Acting Deputy Secretary General Brenda Nyirenda, herself removed from her position by Lubinda just hours earlier, responded with sharp sarcasm. When asked about Lubinda's appointments, she wondered aloud whether Lubinda had taken whiskey shots before making those appointments. The mockery was clear, the contempt undeniable, and the reactions kept coming. Emmanuel Mpankanta, addressing the press with a steady voice but unmistakable anger, said, "The PF Constitution offers no authority for an acting president to unilaterally dismiss Central Committee members or restructure senior party organs. Structural positions like chairperson, Secretary General and Deputy Secretary General cannot be dissolved or reshuffled by one person." He warned officials who might follow Lubinda's directives that they risk personal liability. Even political observer Macpherson Chanda weighed in, calling Lubinda's move autocratic, and warning it risks weakening internal democracy ahead of the convention. But not everyone condemned Lubinda. Joseph Willa Mutilo, in a statement circulated among party members, argued, "The pronouncements made by Honorable Given Lubinda still stand. Even if some believe they are incorrect, they cannot simply be dismissed by a select members of the Central Committee refusing to accept his directives." Lubinda exercised powers vested in him under the PF Constitution. Yet even Mutilo acknowledged the chaos. These escalating divisions and emerging factions lack wisdom and objectivity. They are simply distractions. Perhaps the most poignant observation came from an anonymous analyst writing for the Zambian Observer. The language from B.A. Mwila on parentage of Bo Lubinda really shows that PF is now gone. They have been working together for so long, but today the question of Bo Lubinda's father arises. The unity in PF is gone, I think. Another commenter captured the underlying toxicity. There we go, Mr. Davies Mwila, clear as daylight. Their strength is always base and primitivish, tribalism and xenophobia. When they run out of reasoning, they always resort to tribalism and violence. Deeper analysis. What we're witnessing here is not simply a leadership dispute. It's the unraveling of a political formation that never truly built democratic foundations. Context matters here. The Patriotic Front has never held a competitive elective Congress in its 24-year existence. Leaders from Michael Sata to Edgar Lungu rose through voice votes and internal coronations, not transparent ballots. The party has no muscle memory for democratic transition. And now, when that moment finally arrives, the entire structure is convulsing. Let's address the elephant in the room. Mwila's comments about Lubinda's father. On the surface, he framed it as a political question. Where would Lubinda get votes? But the subtext is impossible to ignore. This is tribalism and xenophobia dressed up as electoral calculus. Zambia has long grappled with regional politics. Madam Mumbai Fairai, a PF stalwart, has openly declared that the only winning formula for PF is an Easterner paired with a Northerner and vice versa. This mentality is not fringe. It's shared by many in the PF Central Committee, most of whom hail from Eastern and Northern provinces. Given Lubinda is from Western Province, and in the ruthless arithmetic of ethnic politics, that makes him vulnerable. But here's the bitter irony. While others were running from their shadows, probably fearing arrests for crimes they committed when they were in power, as one observer noted, Lubinda was the one holding PF together. He attended funerals. He showed up to court cases. He was arrested. He maintained morale. He kept the PF brand from total extinction. He literally held every member's hand to be where they are, wrote one commentator. He kept the morale alive. He was literally the glue holding PF together. And now, after all that loyalty, he's being questioned about his father's origins. The legal questions are serious too. Does an acting president have the power to remove elected Central Committee members? The PF Constitution is ambiguous, and different factions interpret Article 61(j) differently. Some say Lubinda overstepped. Others say he was acting within his rights. What's not ambiguous is the impact. The party is splintering in real time. PF insiders speak of double games and shadow financing. There are even unverified allegations that funding for a recent violent attack on Lubinda in Kabwe came from within the party itself, from individuals linked to Davies Mwila. Police have 7 suspects in custody, and publicly, all sides blame the ruling United Party for national development. But privately, PF members whisper about internal sabotage. And then there's the electoral math. Many of those dropped from the Central Committee still hold positions as MPs or elected officials. They will attend the convention with full voting rights. So Lubinda's reshuffle doesn't neutralize factional blocks. It may actually deepen mistrust. Dr. Davies Mwila, a party intellectual, warned, "Postponing the General Conference is the most dangerous mistake PF can make at this delicate moment. A party that delays choosing its leader becomes a party that has already chosen defeat." But others argue that holding the convention now, in this atmosphere of suspicion, violence, and ethnic mobilization, could tear the party apart permanently. One thing is certain, across PF structures, the reaction to Lubinda's purge has been near unanimous. MPs, councillors, provincial leaders, even longtime Lubinda sympathizers describe him as politically isolated. Many say he has no base left. Tribal rhetoric has crept into internal WhatsApp groups, with factions accusing each other of working with the ruling party to weaken PF ahead of 2026. As one party member put it, Given Lubinda has to be utterly naive and perhaps stupid to realize only now that he's not wanted in the PF. Yet another warned, if PF rejects honorable Given Lubinda simply because he comes from the West, then the party is signing its own death certificate. PF will either collapse completely or remain politically irrelevant after 2026, just like how MMD faded into the political dustbin. So where does this leave us? The Patriotic Front stands at the edge of the abyss. A party that once ruled Zambia with an iron grip now cannot even agree on who has the authority to call a meeting. A movement that promised democracy and unity now deploys the language of tribalism and exclusion. And a leader who sacrificed everything to hold the party together is now being told he doesn't even belong. This is not just a PF crisis. This is a mirror held up to Zambian politics, and what we see reflected back is not pretty. Because if the opposition cannot organize itself, if it cannot choose a leader without descending into ethnic politics and constitutional chaos, then what kind of alternative does it offer the nation? What kind of democratic choice does Zambia really have? These are the questions that will define not just the future of the Patriotic Front, but the health of Zambian democracy itself. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of InspirAfrica Official. This is a story that is still unfolding, and we will be here to bring you every development as it happens. What do you think about this situation? Do you believe Davies Mwila crossed a line by questioning Lubinda's father's origins? Or is this just hardball politics? Should the PF convention proceed as planned, or would postponement give them a chance to heal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, more analysis, and more of the stories that matter to you. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, democracy is not a spectator sport. This is Nakash, signing off. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.